Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Fantasy NBA Today, a sports ethos show brought to you by our great partners at FanDuel. I'm Steve Alexander, a.k.a. Dr. A, and I'm joined today by William Harris, the sports ethos NBA draft expert. On today's show, we're diving into the top ads, breaking down players in the drop zone, and highlighting the best streamers to help you win your week. Let's get started. William, good to see you again. How are you doing? And who is your top ad?
I'm doing great. Great to be on with you, Doc. I'm honored to be with the Hall of Famer. Always nice working with you. My top ad after Tuesday night, it may be low-hanging fruit, but if you did not see it, Jonathan Kuminga, he's officially on the Hawks and showing out. You know, he's under 50% rostered in most settings, but he definitely needs to be added. He had 27 points, 7 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals last night, 3 3-pointers. And not only that, he looked happy out there. We haven't seen Jonathan Kuminga happy in a long time. He looked like the player he was drafted to be last night. You know, he's shown some signs of that in Golden State, but that obviously that marriage did not work out. And you could just see the happiness, the joy in his game. He can continue to play very well for this team. Maybe not this great every night, but he should still be very good for the rest of the way.
I'm not sold on Kuminga as a Hawk. He hit 9 out of 12 shots. He played 24 minutes. I'm a Kuminga guy. Like I'm a Kuminga supporter. And maybe there is room for him. With Jalen Johnson, CJ McCollum, NAW, and Dyson Daniels, I feel like it may be hard for Kuminga to really fit in there. And somebody asked Brew and I the other day, should I pick up Kuminga? And we were like, no. Because we just didn't think he was going to do anything for the Hawks. So I don't know, man. Did you think Kuminga was going to do this before he did it?
Well, see, pre-draft, before he went to the Warriors, I was very high on him. You know, I had him top 6, and I thought with the makeup that he has, his body, his size, defensive capabilities, he could be a Kawhi light type of player. So, you know, he didn't really get to show that fully in Golden State, but I think he has a chance to do it. You know, Zachary Ricochet has been a huge disappointment. So he should definitely take all of his minutes, you know, unless there is some type of trajectory where they want to keep playing Ricochet. But it's definitely going to be something to monitor. And like, I do get what you're saying. It's not going to be this great every night. But I just think the whole change in his demeanor and style of play in Atlanta, he should have a great opportunity to play very well.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I've gone from, no, I'm not messing with Kuminga to, yeah, I'm probably going to pick him up if he's sitting on a waiver wire. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. We got to keep in mind the Hawks are playing the Wizards, who are a disaster. Why did Jalen only play 6 minutes last night? Did he get hurt? Do we know?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, Jalen Johnson got hurt.
I did see he got banged up. He did get banged up.
And he had a hip flexor, only played 6 minutes. So, I mean, that's probably a big reason as to why Kuminga got so much run and was able to go off. Now, if Johnson's going to miss time, Kuminga is a must-own player. I'm fully on board with that. So, yeah, that's my bad. I should have known about that before I was sitting here live in front of y'all. But anyway, okay. Well, pick up Kuminga, see what happens with Jalen Johnson, and we'll move forward. My pickup is Nolan Traore of the Brooklyn Nets. 8 points, 3 boards, 6 dimes, 3 steals. He had a block. He played 28 minutes. Igor Joman, I think, has just taken a back seat to this kid. He has at least 2 steals in like 8 straight games. He's playing 28 minutes every night. And I just think Traore is good to go. Like, I love him the rest of the way for Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean, he's been killing it, especially with the assist, and he's looking very comfortable in that point guard position. So he's definitely a great streamer ad. I'm surprised he's not rostered as much as he should be. And he's a player that I was thinking would be a very safe bet for the rest of the season as well.
Who's your next ad?
I'm going to mention Cam Jones. You know, Kuminga may have been low-hanging fruit. Everyone saw that. Cam Jones may be a name you have not heard much of. He was an early second-round pick for the Pacers. He's finally getting some playing time, and he's extremely low rostered. But he's been very useful the last 3 games, double-figure scoring in the last 2. Had 11 points, 6 points, 3 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal. He had 11 assists in the game a few days ago. But the main reason to add him right now is because Aaron Nesmith is out, which should allow him to continue to produce and be effective. And we know that the Pacers are not going anywhere right now. Johnny Furphy's been hurt. It's been a lot of injuries with his team. So Cam Jones is a guy you can look at definitely for deeper leagues, depending on the roster and the size of the bench.
William, how would you rank the tanking Pacers trio of Quentin Jackson, Jarris Walker, and Cam Jones?
Well, I would like Jarris Walker the most out of that because he should be the best of them. He doesn't have as much competition with his position. Quentin Jackson is a guy that has been good in games, and then the next game he'll disappear or just won't play at all. And so it's kind of weird how they're using him. But if he's consistent with his height, it helps him be very effective as well. But I just like to see what Cam Jones is doing right now with the potential for all those assists.
All right. My next ad is Neemias Queta of the Celtics, 14 points, 13 boards, 3 dimes, 2 blocks, 27 minutes. He's kind of ruined Nikola Vucevic.
Yes.
Vucevic. And I don't know, William, what do you think? Are you hanging on to Vooch through this? Or, I mean, would you rather have Queta than Vooch?
Right now, you would have to hold on to Queta over Vucevic. It's wild because he was so dominant with the Bulls, and most people thought he was going to come in and take that starting role because Queta's not a big name, but he's been very effective for the Celtics, and he's going to get you double figures in rebounders every night, a couple blocks every night. So you have to hold on to Queta. I would try to hold on to Vucevic because you know the skill is in there somewhere, but they're holding on to Queta right now.
How old is? Let me look this up. I bet you Vooch is 34.
I was gonna say 35, maybe
35. He's 35 years old.
Yeah.
I think this is the end of Vooch.
Oh.
I'm serious. I don't think he'll be fantasy relevant next year. He's gonna be 36.
That's true.
And he's been so good and so consistent for so long. But you just, every year, I mean, it's like, ooh, he's 31. Ooh, he's 32, 33, 34. Like, I kept waiting for this to happen. And I think this move to Boston may seal that deal. All right. Who's your next ad?
I'll mention DeAnthony Melton. He's been killing it for the Warriors. You know, DeAnthony Melton is a name we've heard for years in fantasy. We always expect a lot from him, and he gets injured or disappointment or some sort of that. But with Steph Curry out, you know, he last game 28 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, and a steal with 3 3-pointers. The last 4 games he's been great, averaging over 20 points per game, putting up solid numbers all across the board. You know, he's gonna hustle defensively, starting shooting guard right now. You would love to see him play minutes in the 30s, but he's playing 25 to 28 minutes a night. But that's been enough for him to be very effective for the Warriors. And they really need Steph back. But in the meantime, DeAnthony Melton is a good ad for you that can help your fantasy lineups out a lot. And they also have another guy on the Warriors that is doing well also, but you might mention him.
Oh, is it Guy Santos?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Guy Santos last night, even with the return of Draymond Green, 15 points, 12 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, and a 3-pointer. I've been on Guy Santos for a couple weeks, and he's just been fun, man. It's wild how many Warriors there are to talk about right now because we've got an ex-Warrior in Jonathan Kuminga, who made all kinds of headlines last night. And then you've got DeAnthony Melton, Brandon Pajemski, and Guy Santos all playing well. Will, can you put those guys in order of where you want them?
Right. It's tough, but, I would have to say DeAnthony and Guy Santos are right there. It's just positional-wise, what are you looking for the most? But, Guy has been killing it over the last 12 games. So it's been a longer run of it for him. Pods and Melton, you can say, are kind of closer together. The unfortunate fact is Moses Moody, the guy that should be more talented than all three of them, is running in 4th place in that race. How do you feel that ranking would be for you?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, man. This Kuminga Jalen Johnson thing is really
you still thinking about that?
It's really making my head hurt. I think before last night, I would have said it was Melton, then Pajemski, then Guy Santos. Now I'm thinking it's well, I don't know, man. It depends on if Jalen's hurt or not. Let's take Kuminga out of this. I still think it's Melton, Pajemski, Guy Santos.
Okay.
But it's pretty close. Guy's kind of a big guy, and the other two are guards. So, like you said, positions matter. But Guy Santos has been great and is worth picking up, regardless. You got anybody else?
I can mention Baylor Shireman. He's barely rostered as well. So honorable mention there. And Jaylen Brown he was out last game. I think he's questionable next game. Probably will miss that one as well. Baylor's been very effective. You can see his game and his confidence growing every game, every time he gets the opportunity. Because early in the season, he wasn't playing much at all. Now he's out there, had 11 and 11 boards and a steal last game. We know he's a great 3-point shooter. And the Celtics are great at developing players. You see a lot of players on their team just getting better with time. And Baylor Shireman is a guy you could consider.
All right, I'll throw Cason Wallace out there. He may be rostered in every league. I'm not sure. What a game last night. 27, 8, 7, 4 threes, and a steal. I was kind of all into him yesterday as long as excuse me, as long as SGA and Jalen are hurt, it should be sky's the limit. Excuse me. AJ Mitchell's also hurt. Lots of guys hurt for OKC. All right, let's move into the old drop zone as we normally do. These are potential buy lows, some guys who may be struggling, some guys who may be showing up on waiver wires. It'll be interesting to see if my voice is in the drop zone or not, because it's going quickly. William, who's your first player?
Hang in there, Doc. All right, first player for buy low or drop candidate. I just want to give a shout out to DeJounte Murray because it was his first game back after tearing his Achilles. A lot of people may not even know he's back, or he was sitting on waiver wires and people might not even recognize that. So if he's on your wire, you could potentially add him. I think it's worthwhile. He had 13 points, 3 assists, 2 boards, and a steal in his first game back. We knew he'd be rusty. We know some games he's going to be limited in his minutes. They're going to take it easy on him for a while, but the Pelicans don't have their first-round pick. DeJounte Murray mentioned it. He is eager to play and perform for the Pelicans fans and organization. He should be a guy that you could get for nothing off the waivers and potentially help you out at the end of the season.
All right. And then I've got Igor Joman written down. Were you going to talk about him here too?
Yeah, we both have Igor Joman, but for different reasons.
I'm done with him. I'm saying drop Joman. The Nets point guard, I feel like Traore is taken over. What did he do last night? He had 3 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, 28 minutes. But
Pretty
you have a
bad.
different take.
Yeah, yeah. It was pretty bad last night. And he's had a little rough go of it like the last week or so. But he has nothing but opportunity to play the rest of the season. He does not have to play the 1, so he can play alongside Traore. He's much taller than him. He was shooting great from 3-point range early in the season. And we know rookies go through that rough patch of the season. You know, they're not used to playing this long. And he's on a terrible team, we know. So, but I think Diego Joman will have a nice pathway to finish the season. That's why he's a buy low. You're going to have guys like Doc that are going to think he's not worth having. I want to get rid of him. And then you can come in and take the opportunity. It could be a risk to pick him up. And you could just hold him for a few games. If he doesn't do anything, let him go. But I think, you remember, he was the 8th pick in the draft. They are invested in seeing him play well and perform. I think he's got a shot, y'all.
Well, I feel like he's not been very good since Traore moved into the starting lineup to him.
That's true.
And I'm just much more into what Traore is doing than Joman. So maybe he's just in a funk, but I don't think it's a coincidence that Traore moved in the starting lineup and Joman kind of fell apart. So we shall see. I've got Io Dosunmu in the drop zone, 7 points, 1 board, 2 assists, 24 minutes. The move to Minnesota has not been great for Io. And Dante DiVincenzo is not stepping aside. So I think Io is like, he's okay. Like if he's on your roster, he's probably not hurting you, but I don't know that he's helping you either. Where are you at with Io?
I agree with you on this one. I was expecting big things for him when he went to Minnesota because, you know, they had Bones Highland, a guy off the scrap heap for the most part. We all liked Bones, but it never panned out for him. He was playing solid minutes in Minnesota. They got rid of him and Conley. Ended up bringing Conley back, but he's not really playing. So I thought that was a perfect spot for Ayo to come in and upgrade what he was doing in Chicago because he was kind of having to share the court in Chicago and he was playing well there. So it should have been an upgrade for him in Minnesota, and it's been very disappointing. So I agree with you. It doesn't look like it's getting any better.
Yeah. All right. Who you got?
For a drop, like you mentioned, I'm going to have to say Ryan Kalkbrenner for the Charlotte Hornets. You know, they had a situation where it was a big brawl, we know, with the Pistons. Musa was suspended. Miles Bridges was suspended. That opened the door for Kalkbrenner to thrive for this team at center. We've wanted to see it all year since he's been drafted. Early in the season, he was looking great, but I don't know what happened. Musa is back now. His suspension is over, and Kalkbrenner has disappointed in every opportunity he's had lately. Even their G League guy, PJ Hall, has played better than Ryan Kalkbrenner. So I don't know what kind of funk he's in, but now with Musa's back, he may not have been rostered already, but it disappointed me to see him go from all that opportunity and not produce anything.
And is Musa a must-add player?
I think so, as a starting center for the Hornets, and clearly with no competition behind him. I think he had 9 and 7 last night. He can easily put up close to a double-double every night with a block or two. So if you can use that type of production, for sure.
All right. I'm going to go to Washington, the Wizards, and really Keyshawn George, 21 minutes. Vucevic, 22 minutes. Trey Johnson, 24 minutes. All of them crappy production all the way around. I just don't know if we can rely on anything Washington is going to do the rest of the way. I feel like they're taking all 13 or 15 of their guys and playing them 21 minutes. And that's just not going to work in fantasy. Justin Champagnie has been kind of busty. Trey Johnson, kind of busty. We were all so high on Vucevic when Alex Sarr got ruled out. Yeah. And Books has been a huge bust outside of one game. So I don't know. I mean, where are you with the Wizards? Are they all in the drop zone?
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, if they're going to continue playing them like this, they are. And it's really disappointing, because they have a lot of young players that need this time to be playing right now and that are the future of the team, like Keyshawn George. He's looked great earlier in the season. And it just seems to me the Wizards are trying to tank, but not get fined. They saw the huge fines the Jazz and another team got. So they said, we'll do it in a more creative way and play everyone 20 minutes. But they're not going to win with those young guys anyway. Just play them, develop them. Bub Carrington has fell off a cliff to where, he's not even mentioned. It's just instead of doing the right thing, I think they ended up doing the wrong thing for their team. And it's going to hurt their player development.
Would you drop Vucevic right now?
Like if it's a guy like from Musa Diabate, yes. If you got a guy that's going to be starting.
Guy Santos?
Yes.
Jonathan Kuminga?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't trust the Wizards, unfortunately.
Can't trust. All right. You got anybody else?
I just want to mention Kobe White came back for his first game with Charlotte, had 10 points, 3 boards, 4 assists, and a steal. We know he's going to be backing up LaMelo, but he can put up some numbers for you if you're looking for a guy available for free, maybe if he was on waiver wires. I would hold on to him because we know he's a starting point guard in the league. He just happens to be in a situation where he's a backup right now. So he's definitely a guy to keep your eye out on. But if he's going to play limited minutes like a true backup from now on, you obviously can move on from him. But he's a guy that if you're not aware, you should go ahead and try to scoop him up before it's too late. And then if you have to drop him, drop him.
Yeah, it's tough because he's gone from being, sort of a center of attention to the back of the room. And he's just not going to be as good as he was. So, I mean, you're probably still holding on to Kobe White, but you just can't assume you're going to get Kobe White stuff out of him. There has to be a pretty good player on your waiver wire for you to be dropping Kobe White, I would think.
And that's where Minnesota messed up. They could have gotten Kobe White, and they went with Ayo Dosunmu. And I think they're going to regret that one.
Okay. Who's your top streamer for tonight's slate?
I would have to say DeAnthony Melton, just the way he's been killing it the last 4 games, over 20 a night, solid numbers all across the board. He's starting. Steph is still out. He should be productive enough to get you a nice day of production for Wednesday, probably get you a few steals as well. So I'll take DeAnthony Melton. Do you agree, and or who is your top streamer?
Melton's pretty tough right now, man. I don't know how you can not go with him. Now, my only concern is he going to play tonight? He was questionable going into yesterday. He's always banged up. They really try to, manage his injury situation. He's kind of a load management guy at this point. So make sure that Melton's playing tonight. But if he's playing, I want him in my lineup. He's balling. My guy is Cason Wallace. Again, I don't know if he's available to stream, but if you're playing FanDuel, DFS, whatever, Cason Wallace, man, his last 2 games have been outstanding. 23.5 points, 8.5 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 steals. He's playing really well. 27 and 20 points in his last 2 games. No AJ Mitchell. No Jalen Williams. No SGA. Like, that just means you fire up Cason Wallace and you let him rip. Who's your next one?
Well, I'll stay along that path just with what you mentioned. Isaiah Joe as well. He had 22 points and 6 steals last night. Over the last 7 games, he's been almost at 20 points a game, 5 boards, and 3 assists. And, he's definitely a 3-point merchant and a steals merchant. So that goes along with OKC. You know, they have a great game tonight. They're going to need him, especially with the threes. And like I said, he had 6 steals last night. So that's definitely needed in fantasy category leagues. And he's got that opportunity, like you mentioned, with everyone out. And I think it's worthwhile. So if you can't get Casey Wallace, pick up Isaiah Joe and you'll still be all right.
Okay. Andre just gave me a quick note on D'Anthony Melton. After yesterday's game, he said that he wants to play in both legs of back-to-backs. And he said there was discussion yesterday about playing both of these games. So hopefully he's going to be out there tonight. That would be cool.
Well, I will say they are playing the Grizzlies, so they're not going to need them too much. You wouldn't think.
Oh man, the Grizzlies.
Yeah,
the Grizzlies, the Wizards. It's so ugly. But at least I feel like the Grizzlies, we know who's going to play and who's not. With the Wizards, they're just like, here's 15 minutes for you and 15 minutes for you. My next guy is Nick Clifford of the Sacramento Kings. Coming in hot, man. His last game was 12 points, 6 boards, 5 dimes, 6 steals. I don't know if he can do it again, but I kind of want to find out if he can. Would you rather roll with Nick Clifford tonight or Precious Achiuwa?
Well, see, it seemed like the other day Nick Clifford didn't get many minutes. I'm glad they finally played him last game a lot of minutes, but I was disappointed because they was playing Russell Westbrook so many minutes and Nick Clifford was off the bench, didn't do much. So is Nick Clifford going to be consistent and get good minutes every night? I don't know, but Precious Achiuwa is. He's one of the few bigs remaining on the team. He's not a good player necessarily, but he's going to be out there with opportunity for boards, blocks, steals. Precious has been getting steals lately, so that's helpful as well. So I'm more confident in Precious, but I would love to see Nick Clifford get more opportunity like he did last game.
He's actually been getting minutes. Like if you look at his game log, the minutes are pretty consistent, like right around 30. But to your point, Westbrook has the ball in his damn hands so much. A lot of times it freezes other guys out. And I think that's why I know Brewski's frustrated with Westbrook. I think a lot of people in Sacramento are frustrated with Westbrook. And it's just, he's such a ball dominant guard. But as far as Nick Clifford goes, William, where do you see him as far as a dynasty player over the next 2 or 3 years?
I think he's solid. I don't think Russ will be there next year, but obviously they're going to have a top 5 pick in the draft as well, depending on position. He's not a foundational player, I don't believe, but he could be like a valuable player to your team, like Devin Vassell type of, quality for your team. And it just depends on how they're going to use him. And this is the opportunity where they need to get as much eyes on him as they can for the rest of the season to see how they're going to finish the season off with him and use him in the future. Because Nick Clifford was not a freshman coming into the draft. He was a senior, so he's not a baby, but he's still very talented. He just needs Russ out of there. We'll put it like that.
All right. Who's your next streamer?
Okay, I'll mention Javon Small. We talked about the Grizzlies. Javon Small, if you don't know, rookie backup point guard for the Grizzlies. They also have Walter Clayton, who they acquired from the Jazz. But Javon Small, the last 3 games, has been very fantasy relevant, averaging 16 points, 4 boards, 5 assists, and 2 steals per game. So that's definitely usable. It's a small sample, but his last game was the best one, and he's been in double figures in 5 out of the last 6 games. The Grizz, we know, riddled with injuries, so there's a guarantee for him to get 25 to 30 minutes per game right now. And, he's a talented young guard. You close your eyes, you see John Moran a little bit because he's got all that hair and he's a point guard for the Grizzlies. But I'm not going to say, but you know what I mean. But Javon Small, if you haven't heard the name, he's worth looking into, especially for 14, 16 type leagues.
Nice. I like it. I'm going to stay in Memphis, and this is probably more for like 10 10-team leagues because I feel like GG Jackson should be rostered almost everywhere by now. For the month of February, he's at 16.6 boards, 2 assists, 1 block, 0.7 steals, 2 triples, shooting 55%. Now, he's only 65% from the line. And that's really his only downfall right now. Like if you're in a free throw battle, you don't want to mess with Gigi. But outside of that, man, he's been great. And Memphis has sort of just turned him loose. I feel like he's kind of like Jarris Walker. It's like wind him up and let him go for the Pacers. That's sort of what they're doing in Memphis.
Do the Grizzlies not like GG Jackson? Because, earlier in the season when they were competing, had Jaren Jackson and all those guys, he wasn't getting any minutes. And now it's like every year when they're forced to play him, they finally put him out there. And he plays great every time. So I don't understand why they don't just play him more often.
It's a great question. I mean, they probably don't like him.
Yeah.
I guess. But, I mean, we go through this, it seems like every year in Memphis. Like, at the end of the season, it just becomes a free-for-all.
Yeah.
All right. You got anybody else on your list?
We went over Precious a little bit. So I'll mention him just to reiterate that.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
You're good. Over the last 3 games, 2 double-doubles. He had 4 steals in one of them. And the injuries leave him as only one of the bigs. So we kind of covered that a little bit. And I'll mention your guy, Guy Santos, as well. He should have a great opportunity for Wednesday.
Nice. And then I just wanted to mention Olivier Maxence Prosper, Omax. As they refer to him. Somehow he has emerged out of that Memphis firestorm as well. And he's kind of balling out, man. Like he's had 17, his points are 17, 9, 23, 14, 25, and 13 over his last 6 games. That's 3 pretty good games. The rebounds are not great, sort of like Jaren Jackson. The 3-pointers, he hit 7 one night. He hit 0 on other nights. What do you think of Omax?
It's like you said, it's very surprising. When he was in Dallas, he couldn't get on the court, and you figured the same thing was going to happen here in Memphis because you mentioned GG Jackson. They traded for Taylor Hendricks. I expected Taylor Hendricks to be doing what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
So Omax is doing right now. So that's very surprising to me. But yeah, as long as he's getting an opportunity, he's definitely worth streaming for sure.
Well, he's played at least 22 minutes in 7 straight games. And if he's getting those kind of minutes and he's getting up shots, I mean, 10 of 16, 9 of 13, 3 of 13. Like he's getting shots with this team. And he also gets steals. He's got 7 steals over his last 4 games. So Omax is a pretty intriguing pickup / streamer, whatever. All right, man. I think that is going to do it for this episode of Fantasy NBA Today. If you're listening to the podcast, leave us a 5-star review. It will really help us out. Maybe even it would help my voice come back. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the Sports Ethos channel. You never miss an episode. From William, Andre, everyone here at Sports Ethos, we'll be right back with our daily fantasy deep dive. Available exclusively on the Fantasy NBA Today podcast feed and the Sports Ethos YouTube channel. William, I'd be right back with the next show. This has been Fantasy NBA Today, presented by FanDuel.